Saints Row may not be a horror series, but you'd be surprised at the sheer amount of horror-inspired elements they sprinkled throughout the games over the years. I mean, in Saints Row 2, you face off against a drug cartel with the power of voodoo on their side, and the main antagonist of the 4th installment are malicious aliens. It's October now, which means spooks and scares, and Saints Row has no shortage of ways to get into the Halloween spirit. Also, at the end of this video, there will be an announcement, and it pertains to this channel. It's very important to me, and if you could listen to it, I would really appreciate it. One of the most popular myths within the Saints Row community is the Merman. This all started before the first game was even released. In the Saints Row 1 demo disc, if you glitch under this bridge, there's a chance you'll hear a noise that sounds like this. As well as see something down there that despawns if you get too close to it. This was never in the final game, but after all these years, we still have no actual idea what it is. The mystery still remains. In Saints Row 2, there's a reference to the Merman on a billboard in Stillwater, but in actuality it's just a reference to Brian Merman, who was a developer at Volition during the development of Saints Row 2 and 3. If you'd like some more info on the Merman, Mr. Saints Godzilla 21 has you covered. He's made several videos on the matter. In Saints Row 2, if you go to the Toxic Lake in the Arena District, you can find a hockey mask similar to the one that Jason Voorhees wears in the Friday the 13th films. If you pick it up, it turns into a skull after a few seconds. Not much here, just a nice little nod to the iconic slasher series. Alternatively, you can become Jason yourself. Just go to Let's Pretend and buy the hockey mask with whatever outfit you want. I chose the EDF armor to give off a Jason X vibe, and then go to town with a machete. Or make a disgusting monstrosity and terrify the innocent civilians of Stillwater. Of course, there's the iconic Sex Cavern Easter egg in the cemetery. This place just gives me the creeps. What about the chainsaw murderer you can hear inside this house? Is it just some guy watching TV? I don't know. How about this place with the blood trail and the blood all over the door? Who could be in there? The underground area around the Saints hideout, to me, is like, it's creepy as hell. It's like one of the scariest, or at least creepiest, unsettling places in Saints Row 2. And there's some creepy audio triggers down there. The most interesting one was this crying baby. This place is definitely haunted. This is also the area where Zombie Uprising takes place. Zombie Uprising is an in-game zombie survival shooter that's honestly not that bad. Of course, Zombie Uprising is how you access the freezer, which is an infamous glitch that can be accessed by glitching out of Zombie Uprising. For more info on the freezer, again, Mr. Saints Godzilla 21 has you covered. He's taken several looks at the freezer, but I don't recommend trying this glitch for yourself, because it can ruin your Saints Row 2 disc. That's the scariest part. Zombies have been a part of Saints Row since the very beginning. After Lynn's death, pull out your phone and call Eye for an Eye. This will trigger Lynn to come back in a dope-looking hearse, only this time as a flesh-eating zombie. She uses her detachable arm as a weapon and eats the remains of her victims. In Saints Row 2, after Carlos's incredibly chilling death, call the same number and you can fight alongside him. Although he doesn't really act like a zombie like Lynn did, he kinda just punches people. Lastly, upon beating the game in Saints Row the 3rd, you unlock Zombie Gat. Again, he doesn't act like a zombie, he kinda just randomly punches people, and of course Zombie Gat was later retconned in Saints Row 4. Speaking of zombies in Saints Row the 3rd, there's a whole island full of them, as well as a cheat to spawn them across the whole map. I had hours of fun with this cheat when I was a kid. Unfortunately, it isn't available in co-op. Saints Row 4, of course, has you fighting aliens in a simulation, so if you're down for some sci-fi horror, they've got you covered. Just equip the pulse rifle from Aliens and get to murdering. Saints Row 4 is also filled to the brim with references to the movie They Live, which is a great sci-fi horror film starring Keith David and the late great Roddy Piper, both of which you can fight alongside as homies. There's plenty of spooky outfits to dress up in and even a witch's broom to fly on. This was in Saints Row 3 as DLC, but it's a minor Easter egg in Saints Row 4. Lastly, Gat Outta Hell. I mean, this entire game is set in Hades, so you can basically do anything here and it would be pretty spooky. That's pretty much all I can think of, so I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something new. A lot of this is common knowledge at this point, and if I forgot anything, just let me know in the comments. Okay, one last thing before I go. This is the announcement or whatever, so please listen. Okay, so if you follow my channel regularly, you know that I make videos probably on average about once a week, and more importantly, I only make videos about Saints Row content. Now, I kind of want to focus on the latter with that. I don't know if I want to make exclusively Saints Row content anymore. Obviously, I still love Saints Row and I want to make videos about Saints Row. I'm not going to stop doing that, but I would like to every once in a while go off the beaten path and make videos about other video games. There just aren't an infinite amount of Saints Row ideas when it comes to making content. Like I said, I make videos around average once per week, and I only make videos about Saints Row, and if I were to continue that, I think eventually my content would get worse. I would have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for video ideas, and I don't want to do that. I also don't want to make content that isn't regularly coming out. Like, if I were to make videos only when I have a great Saints Row idea, they would be coming out less frequently, eventually, and I don't want to do that either. So I want to make regularly released content, and I want to make content that I'm proud of and content that you guys want to watch. So I think the easiest way to do that is to, switch it up just a little bit every once in a while. Talk about a video game that isn't Saints Row or whatever. One thing I would love to do is make a review of the Warriors game by Rockstar. It's one of my favorite games. It's based off one of my favorite movies, and I would love to talk about it, but not if you guys aren't down for that. So if you are okay with me switching up my content just a little bit every once in a while, I'm still going to make Saints Row videos, but if you're okay with me occasionally talking about something else, please let me know in a comment. I'd really appreciate it.